Hi, it's Denise Ward again. Well, tonight I was coming home from the radio station and I was driving home at about 11:30. There were hardly any cars on the road at that time, but the lights take forever, and I got to a light in Northboro, and I saw, first of all, I did see a police car come out from a driveway, and I kept on driving, and then I later on, not much later, I went through one. There was past one light, then there was another light I was approaching, and it was red, so I stopped. There was a car there on the left, and that was on the red light as well, and I was on the red light when I got to the light, and then the red light just stayed on for me and for him, and I thought, okay, I'm just going, and it's perfectly safe, and then I saw the police car lights come on, of course, and I had my dog in the car, and I turned into a 24-hour store on the corner and parked in there. And I got out of the car and I went up to the police car that had parked right behind me. And he told me, get back in your car or something. And I said, why? And he said, get back in your car. And I said, why? And I was right up to him by this stage, and he said, I'm telling you to get back in your car. And I said, but why? Just ask me the question that you stopped me for. And anyway, then he said, what's your name? And I said, well, I don't need to give you that. And anyway, before long, it didn't take very long, maybe 3 minutes, and he started to push me forward and start to grab hold of my arms. And then the next thing I knew, he had done the police thing. You know how they do the training, where they pull you, put your leg. They take the leg that you've got weight on, and they pull you down. And then I was on the ground on the asphalt, and I was lying with my face on the ground, and I was worried that they were going to break my teeth or something. I didn't know, because cops are insane. Anyway, so I was lying flat on the ground, and I looked up and I saw like there was 5 police cars, and then one guy was a plainclothes person, and I thought, oh my God, he's seeing that a woman's being held down like this. He's coming to probably beat the cops up. And I said, please don't hurt anybody, Anyway, no, what he did was he put his knee on my back and put my arms back, while the other cop proceeded to put metal handcuffs on my hands. All this, but it was the traffic light. Anyway, so while I was down, they were pushing my body into the ground, and I just wanted to record. Then they took me to the police. I'll just tell you first before I show you the bruises. But then they took me to the police station after many, many arguments. Oh, that's right. Before they put me on the ground, I looked. That's when I saw the 5 police cars and 5 policemen around me, and I said, "Look at you, 5 of you, 5 of you. Look at you. What do you think you're doing?" Anyway, so they didn't like that too much. Anyway, so that's when they pulled me down on the ground, and then when I got back up again, they threw me into the police car with my hands handcuffed behind my back. And it was very uncomfortable, let me tell you. But I was worried about my dog. He was in my car. I said, "What are you going to do with the car? It's just sitting there. It's in the, it's not in the way, but it's in a passageway, sort of, to get into the store." And people were wondering what's going on, that we're at the 24-hour store. They probably told them some crap. They probably said she ran a red light. That's a real accurate description. I don't know what they said, but I bet you they said something like that, because that's what they said when I heard them later on. in one of the conversations. Anyway, so they took... I said, what are you going to do with the dog? And they said, well, you can call a friend or something. What's your name? And I or something. And I said, it doesn't matter. I need to call my friend to come get the dog. And of course, they're not going to have that, because everything you ask, they do not answer, and they keep on barking the same commands. So I was worried about Ajax, and he seemed okay in the car, but of course he was looking everywhere like, what the hell's all these lights for? Anyway, I also had my son's car, but yeah, and so they took me down to the police station. They said they're going to call animal protection, or animal something, one of their stupid agencies, and I was worried that they were going to give him an injection, because they just think that they can do anything to anybody's property and anybody's person. It's really. I wasn't scared. Not even. I was going. It was not scary. It's disturbing. It's very disturbing, and the whole time I was questioning their motives and questioning their integrity. And so I went to the police station, and then they put me into a cell, and they said that I have to appear in the morning. Anyway, we got friendly, we all got friendly. They thought I was funny, I think, and I don't think anybody stands up to them like that. But anyway, then they put me into a cell because they had to call somebody to see if I was okay to be taken out on bail. So they have to have somebody else to decide that. They asked me so many questions. They wanted to read me the rights. I said, don't worry about... I know I have none. Don't worry about that. Don't read them to me. It's a waste of time. And the only rights I have are natural rights. That's the ones I claim. Anyway, so they proceeded to read them anyway. And I didn't take any notes. And then they asked me all sorts of other questions, like, are you allergic to this? Have you got any scars? And I'm thinking, what else are they going to ask? I said, why are you asking these questions? And they said that it's because if they keep me overnight, they'll know not to feed me bad food. Like, they're worried about the food that they're going to give me, but they're not worried about what they're doing to me right now. Anyway, so I ended up in the cell, okay, and I was waiting there forever. They said I only had to wait for an hour, but it's actually now 3 o'clock in the morning. And they said, do I want to call anybody? I said, I'm not waking anybody up at this time of night. So I said, I just want my dog. But they weren't going to get it out of the thing. And I didn't have my car. The car was given to a towing company. And so tomorrow I'm supposed to appear at the courthouse, which I will do, because I want to have my say to them too. And I want to do it because I don't know what they're going to send. Like, what are they going to send here? Military vehicles, a SWAT team? They're so absurd and beyond the pale that they'll do anything. They'll do anything to show their superiority. Anyway, so Ajax is sleeping at the animal something or another tonight. I think he's been taken care of, because when I got a bit chummy with some of them, and they assured me that she's very nice, the lady who looks after them. I said, why can't I just go and get him now? And they said, because the office doesn't open till tomorrow. I said, but I don't need the office, I just need the dog. And they don't do that, because that's the, how would they call it? They kept saying things like... that's the, they didn't call it the rules, but procedure. That's procedure. And I did challenge them at every turn. And now they took me out of the cell, and I had to speak to some officer, a woman, who had to be called in to see if I was okay to go out on bail. You're not allowed to make any decisions yourself if you're a policeman. So it's pretty insulting to them. They are insulted, but they don't seem to feel insulted because they go by procedure, and so they don't mind being part of the, a cog in the wheel either. So I guess, so I spoke, then they extorted $40 out of me, otherwise, I have to do it. I don't care anyway, it's just bullshit money. Money's just bullshit. So, big deal, papers. I had plenty of money on me, and, because I keep cash, I don't keep money in the bank. And I don't have much money, and I don't want to have much money. Anyway, so then the policeman let me out, and I said, well, he said, can you call somebody to come pick you up? I said, you've got 5 cars here doing nothing. Can't you drive me home? And he said, where do you live? And I told him, and it was just a few miles away, like, 3. And, if that. And so he said he would. He said he can only go up to the town line. So he dropped me off at the town. Well, it was more than the town line, but he dropped me off. And then I walked the rest of the way home at 3 o'clock in the morning. This is how much protection they give you. It's only protection when they can get an income from it, or, revenue. So I just want to show you what I'm not, look, there's nothing that I can't handle. Let me see. There's nothing that I can't handle, but there's one bruise on my shoulder, and there was a little bit of a bruise there before, but now there's even more. And my elbow, of course, from being on the ground. I don't think I got anything on my legs, but I'm not in any way feel demeaned by it. It's interesting to see what they do to make you feel demeaned. A lot of people would feel demeaned from that that treatment. And by the way, I had to sleep in a cell. It was like, I've never been in a cell before, but it was comfortable, sort of, as far as like concrete cells go. But at least the place you can sleep on is wood, and they did have a blanket, and the toilet was clean. So, and it was fairly roomy. So I was just doing some thinking, because they had a couple of magazines there, but that's just more junk for your brain, which I just use as a pillow. So I didn't sleep, but I did a lot of thinking, and that was my experience tonight. I'm going to run out of tape, so I'll leave it there.